On today's Sales Tips for Success, I'm going to share with you the 5 reasons why people don't buy from you. Hey there, I'm Nafissa, Shireen, success coach for entrepreneurs, and welcome to Living Forward TV for the best tips, mindset hacks, and strategies on how you can really leap your income and create a business you absolutely love all around your personal freedom. Consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell notification and you will be on your way. Closing sales and enrolling clients isn't just about what to do, it's also about what not to do. And if you're finding that you're getting a lot more no's than you'd like, then stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to learn the 5 reasons why people don't buy, even if they really need what you have to offer. But the good news is it's actually easy to overcome. And once you do and you learn what they are, you can be on the lookout for it, and then you can start to hear a lot more yeses. And if that's something that you would like to hear, then write the word yes below. Reason number 1 why people don't buy even when they really need something is because they don't really want it. Just think about that for a second. Has there ever been something that you know you really need, but you can find creative ways to work around it no matter how inconvenient so that you don't have to buy it? You see, that's because people don't buy with logic. They don't buy with need. They buy on emotion and then they back it up with logic. You've probably heard this when people do go and make a purchase. They will give all the reasons why they needed it. But if you listen really closely, need had nothing to do with it. What they're telling you is why they really wanted it and trying to justify it. And even if somebody does need it, that need on its own is not enough to motivate them. I mean, think about it. I asked you this. How many times have you heard the same thing from a prospect where they say, this is exactly what I need, but I can't do it because I can't afford it. The kids have a soccer game. It's not the right time. I'm just not sure that my husband will approve. Think of all the reasons they give you not to buy exactly what it is that they need. And yet, have you noticed that no matter what reasons people give for not buying what they need, no time, no money, husband won't approve, whatever it is, they still somehow manage to find the money for a whole bunch of other things, whether that's a new purse, new clothes, new car, a trip. Doesn't matter what it is, fill in the blank. You see, the key point here is want is so much stronger to a person than need. People will always find the time, find the money, find the schedule, deal with the husband, change things around to get what they want. And yet they'll continue to struggle and work around what they need in favor of what they actually want more in the moment, even if getting what they need can solve a whole lot of problems for them or open up a ton of abundance for them or create a whole range of opportunities. If they don't want it bad enough, something they want more is going to override that need in the moment. And that's why no matter how much the prospect needs your services or your product and what you have to offer, if you only focus on their needs, you're likely not going to close the sale. But the good news is that's not a deal killer. You can, through the use of effective questioning, help turn that need into a want and into a desire. And that's part of having an effective sales conversation, is drawing that prospect out and helping them want what it is you have to offer. And you do that through effective questioning. I've got another video, and I'm going to link to it above and below, where I teach you 3 questions you absolutely need to ask to close more sales. Reason number 2 that people don't buy even if they really need it. There's no urgency. We've already established that the prospect doesn't want it, they're not going to buy it. And so if they don't want it bad enough and they don't want it urgently enough, they're always going to defer that purchase, and something else will come in that will always take priority over what it is that they need. And that's the thing. If it's only a need, as we talked about earlier, they will continue to work around that until it becomes a problem that's so glaring they can't ignore it. I mean, for example, let's just say somebody had a hole in their roof, or a roof tile was lifting. They know they need to fix that. But if it's not causing any immediate urgency, it's just a nuisance, or they just kind of know in the back of their mind, most people are going to put that off. And then one day they're sitting in their living room watching TV with their family and water starts coming from the ceiling. Well, guess what? They can't ignore that anymore and they have to go get it fixed. It is suddenly an urgent problem. But here's the thing. They probably still don't want to fix that roof. What they want is the water to stop running, and that water is the urgent problem. And it's the same for you. Your clients don't necessarily want what it is that you're selling or what it is that you offer, but what they want is what they get from that. And in your sales conversations, when you really focus on that piece, on what they really want, more clients, to lose weight, a better relationship, better health, whatever that may be, when you focus on their end goal, their true desire, that's when it starts to turn into a want, and that's when you start to uncover just how important the end result is to them. And as they start to discover how important that end result is to them, they'll start to actually uncover their own urgency. You won't have to do it for them. Now, the third reason people don't buy is they don't see the value. Now, it's not going to show up with them telling you, oh, I don't value that. Most people won't say that, and they may not even recognize that. But how it's going to show up is, I can't afford it, I don't have the time, this isn't the right time, I don't have the money for that, all kinds of money reasons. And what that is the client hasn't actually seen how making the purchase or making the investment has way more value to them than not doing it. And so you want to make sure in your sales process, before you ever even get to price, that you understand the true cost of the problem to that client. Let's go back to the roof, for example. If somebody said it was going to cost them $3,000 to fix that roof, that could be why they're putting it off. But when the water starts coming in and they're looking at $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of damage, and guess what? They don't have insurance. Suddenly that $3,000 seems very small in comparison. And so it's the same for you. So whatever it is that you are offering your clients, there's a cost to them to not going forward with it. And that's what you want to find out. What does it cost them to not get what they want? Now, it's not what it costs them to get your service. We want to be clear about that. We already established that they don't want your service. They want what they get from your service. So you want to find out what it costs them to not get what it is they want from your service. So whether that's more clients, what's it costing them not to have more clients? What's it costing them not to have a relationship? What's it costing them to not have better health? That's where you want to focus, and that's going to help them to see the actual monetary cost and life cost to them to not solving that problem, so that when you do make the offer and you do let them know what the investment is, they can actually see a direct value on how they'll benefit and profit by going forward. Now, the fourth reason that people don't buy is that you're talking way too much about your products and services instead of asking them about their pain points and desires. Nobody likes to be pitched to. And when you're talking about your products and services, you're not giving the client a chance to express themselves and tell you what it is they really want. Your job on a sales call is to ask questions, listen, understand them, and then make a recommendation later. And the fifth reason people don't buy is because they've taken control of the conversation. If somebody gets on the phone and they start doing all the talking, asking all the questions, and you find yourself scrambling, you're not creating a lot of trust as somebody who's in a position of authority, as a trusted advisor, and it's going to make them uncomfortable. And a lot of times when people get on the phone asking tons of questions, they're not really committed at that point to solving their problem because they want to know more instead of actually telling you what it is they want. A friend of mine once said, nobody asks more questions than somebody who's not about to buy. And so if you let the prospect ask all the questions, you have lost control of that conversation. You want to hold on to control from the very start. You don't do that by talking, you do that by asking questions. And you can set your call up to take control because people feel very assured when somebody takes the lead and takes control. And the way you do that is when you get on the phone, you just let them know how this call is going to go. It's like, we're going to talk for 30 minutes. I'm going to ask you a series of questions because I really want to understand what's going on for you. And then I'll make a recommendation at the end as to what I think is appropriate. And then you go into it. Then they know what to expect. And when you can overcome these 5 things, you're going to start to notice that you start to close a lot more sales, because you're helping your prospects really move from where it is they're stuck to what it is they really want to create for themselves in their lives. And at that point, it never actually feels like a sales conversation, because if it does feel like a sales conversation, you're doing something wrong. It's you stepping into that role of trusted advisor. And so helping them uncover their own urgency to really want that end result and to show them the path to get there is what's going to make them want to step forward and buy. And we have tons of videos on this channel on the different types of questions you can ask, how to really approach your sales call successfully. So I really suggest you check out some of those playlists because we've got tons of information to help you with that. But if you can keep in mind these 5 things and notice when they show up, you're going to start to be able to really help yourself really step into your power on sales conversations. And if you need more help with that, drop me a line. I'd love to have a conversation with you and help you with that. And if you're wondering how on earth you're even going to get people into sales calls to begin with, don't worry, I've got you covered. Beneath this video, you can grab my little handout on Get More Sales Calls. It will teach you how to get more warm leads and prospects on your calendar so that you can have more sales calls, because the more sales calls you have, the more sales you're going to make. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with someone who you know needs it. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below and tell me what you found most helpful. And I would love to get to know you personally. If you have any questions on what we talked about today, then come on over to the free Living Forward TV Facebook community. It's an awesome place where you get to interact with me daily, get daily inspiration, network with a bunch of like-minded entrepreneurs, and really grow your business. All you have to do is go to livingforwardcommunity.com, click the Join Now button, and I'll see you on the inside.